If you're struggling with the driver at the moment, you're probably believing that the topped golf shots are from you lifting your head up too early before hitting the golf ball. But what if I was to tell you that this is completely wrong? Lifting upwards, pushing upwards from the ground is a great move to have for the driver swing. The move that you're forgetting is in the downswing, the start of that downswing. A lot of tour professionals will begin this downswing by lowering themselves into the ground. And this lowering of the ground, this squatting motion here, allows them to push back up from the ground to make centre contact with the golf ball. So a lot of amateur golfers forget from the top, especially senior golfers, I see this all the time, they'll get to the top and lift upwards. We've got to get this pressed down into the ground to allow that push upwards to take place. We're always going to get that push upwards to try and create more speed and power and hit the ball as far as we can. The other move that golfers do when doing this is that they'll get to the top of the swing and they will stop rotating through with the body. And if we stop rotating through with the body, then they try and keep the head down like this here, our arms are going to get too close to us because subconsciously we're aware that if we keep our arms nice and straight, keeping this nice width in the downswing, then we're going to hit the ground first. That's why sometimes you get underneath the golf ball and sky the shot due to this limited rotation. So if we can get to the very top of our swing, focus on the two aspects of turning and squatting, then that's going to make a world of difference to your drives. With that being said, however, how can we do this? Well, the first one to take note of is the move in the downswing. This is all to do with the downswing now. So that first move in the downswing is going to be initiated, well, should be initiated from the lower body to begin with in this swing sequence. So when we get to the top, we want to get that feeling of that press into the ground. Now you'll notice here I'm in a new facility down at Golf Swing Systems headquarters in Surrey, and I'm using the launch monitor called the Unicore, and this is a great monitor for tracking where my weight is moving and how much pressure I'm applying into the ground. What you can see on the screen right here now is me working my way into the backswing. You can see from here that the majority of the pressure is moving into the trail side, which is what we want. But when we're doing this pressure down, what we should be able to feel and see on the camera now is when we're pressuring down into the ground that both feet are showing very much so in green. And then as we make our way through up to finish, the weight transfers, of course, onto the lead foot, being that left foot for a right-handed player, just like myself. So all I'm going to get you to start doing is make a couple of rehearsal swings by just simply turning up to the top of the swing with the sensation of getting that back facing towards the net or target, depending on where you are. And then we're just going to squat into the ground just to begin with as that first stage. And then I want you to really push up from the ground. So we're squatting down and pushing back up on the way through with the idea of getting your sternum, so the middle of your chest, to face towards the net or target as you make your way through to finish. So back to target, squat down for 2, push up for 3, sternum to target for 4. So this immediately gives you that sensation of 1 being the squat into the ground to begin with, and that second sensation of rotating more so on the way through. If we can continue this rotation on the way through, it's going to keep these arms nice and straight, keeping this nice wide arc as we make our way through to the finish position. As soon as we stop this rotation, as I mentioned earlier, and try and force our head to stay down, our arms are going to come too close and then we end up jumping away from it anyway. So working up to the top, you can take the club across your shoulders just to really force the sensation of getting that back, working all the way up to the finish position at the backswing, getting that back to face towards the target. And you can see here from my eye line that that butt end of the club is actually pointing just past the golf ball here. So I'm just getting that back to face towards the target. And then we're going to be squatting down for 2. The key for this squat here is we don't want to rotate and begin firing those hips at the same time as we get this squatting motion, because when we do this, we squat down, turn the hips, and the shoulders and hips usually stay together. It's very difficult to get this separation for a lot of elderly golfers. So when we get this motion here, we've got to allow for that squat to go first. Otherwise, we're just going to get the club working over the top, which is game over for drive because we're going to get too steep onto the golf ball. So club across the shoulders, squatting down for 2, and then we're pushing upwards and getting that club end to point at the golf ball, with our sternum finishing off facing towards the target. So in stages, just 1 to the top, 2 down, 3 pushing up and through, working your way up the bag, finally finishing off with the driver. Just a quick shout out to GX Golf. They provide high quality golf clubs for a fraction of the price in comparison to the rest on the market. Using my discount code below Harry10, you can get yourself a great 10% discount. I'd highly recommend you check them out and see what you think for yourself. Now, the bonus tip I'm going to give you for this using the driver is just committing to the swing. Getting that squatting motion down first, then turning through, rotating through, pushing upwards and through is going to make a massive difference. As soon as we slow down the body, those arms are going to overtake, get too close, head's going to stay too far down. Allow the body to freely rotate and do what it wants to do. Don't worry about swaying, because once you get this back to target, chest to target, you're not going to sway. You're going to be rotating naturally instead. So working it up to the top and down and through. You can do this in stages to begin with, and then work your way up into the full swings. Nice little bit of a draw there, working down to the left-hand side of the fairway. I'll definitely take that one. That was very easy for me, swinging at 119 miles an hour, carrying over 300 yards. So now we've got the lower body switched on with the driver, getting this downswing starting, using those 2 movements, pressing down into the ground and then applying that extra bit of rotation. How can we now stop us from getting too far out to in on these golf shots, causing those slices? Well, this will be revealed in this video over here. So I'd highly recommend checking that out and subscribing to the channel, as there's lots more content coming out every single week, just like this one. Big thanks to Golf Swing Systems for bringing me down to the headquarters to film this content. We'll see you in the very next video.